So, you're reading the ticker correctly. WWE looked at what AEW was going through with the whole diversity talk, and then it came out that big swole and what she tried on, and how she almost wrecked Jade Cargill's momentum from a tweet back in October before the tournament started, which kind of recontextualizes some aspects of this whole debacle we went through. I didn't know about this until after the tournament was over. That's when the report came out, and I didn't know about the tweet till literally last week after the tournament was over. And the tweet's still up, where Jay Cargill spoiled the ending to the tournament, saying, "It should be me that you all still owe, but we'll all know it will be Jade." And that was like, so you almost wrecked Jay Cargill's momentum over a title that you felt you were owed, even though there was no indication of that at the time. But let's move on from that. WWE looked at that and was like, we have the momentum now to really use our PR marketing machine to demonize AEW, really wreck their momentum, and destroy the empire. Well, WWE was like, nah, let's not do that. Let's do the hold my beer tactic. Hold my beer, Bill, Tony Khan. We're gonna wreck this thing with more reckless abandon. So, there was a trademark for this whole thing. WWE filed a trademark, and you know, it's like WWE files trademarks all the time. There's no big deal about that. Like, they refile trademarks, they do trademarks and all that, and yeah, basically you would expect, oh, they're just doing another trademark probably. It's probably going to be something that they're thinking of doing, but they're never going to really do it. Then they trademarked the name Gunther Stark, and we all assumed it was like at first we were like, wait, Gunther Stark? I mean, Zoe Stark's there, but she's currently out of action with a knee injury. Is that like a plan to change her name for reasons I don't understand? Because this is WWE, this is confusing. Then other sources came out, and people who, you know, went on Google and typed in the name Gunther Stark, you would see not only the WWE trademark news, which was now suddenly trending, but also Gunther Stark is the name of a Third Reich U-boat commander. I'll get back to that. So, I was like, oh god, I feel sorry for whoever's gonna get that name. So, yeah, but I was like, maybe they're gonna learn about this and get the backlash, and they're not gonna follow through with it, and maybe they'll reject the trademark. We'll see an hour, like in the next 12 hours or so, maybe the next day. And then NXT went on the air. I don't watch NXT as much as I used to because I don't really interested in 2.0. But Walter took on Roderick Strong. Walter! It is Walter! Walter! The big, strong, big man, and that will really bloody chop you to death. So Bryan Danielson's fetish will be fully realized to true perfection. Since he's now making the move to the States, since his last relationship ended, and got a new one, and got a new girlfriend after he and his wife were filing for divorce, which was apparently the thing that was keeping him anchored in the UK. I thought for sure it was just because he loved UK wrestling. So, yeah, I didn't watch the show. The match I heard was crazy. I'm like, it's Roderick Strong and Walter, so you would expect greatness out of it because they're two talented athletes that you're familiar with. So, yeah. Then I saw the clip. Walter, after the announcer said, "The winner of the match is Walter!" Walter grabs the microphone and shouts, 9. and says, "The winner of the match is Gunter." And I was like, you motherfuckers. You mofos. Like, I was ready to go Samuel Jackson on Twitter, but I decided not to for the sake of my sanity. But I did comment, you gave this wrestler, and I was mistaken calling him a British wrestler. He's not a British wrestler. I just got that confused. I lost track on that. He's an Austrian wrestler. That doesn't really help matters. And you gave this guy this awesome beast of a man who was known as Walter, which was perfectly alright for everyone, and you had this guy be calling himself Walter for 3 years. You decide, we're going to change his name to Gunther Stark. Now, WWE officially updated the site and gave the name Gunther, but they left out the Stark. Let's know, they left that out. But they still trademarked Gunther Stark. If I had to take the wildest guess, they learned what was going on the internet and realized, oh god, we really did this. And they had to shorten the name to Gunther. If it was simply just trademarking the word Gunther, fine. I would just be like, Triple H is gonna be pissed. Like, even from a marketing perspective, it's confusing since you spent 3 years with the name Walter and now just decide to change it with no logical reasoning. Oh, don't worry. WWE decided to give a reason why they changed it. Grayson Waller cut a promo on Twitter saying, just so everyone knows, Walter was just too close to Waller, so I spoke to my lawyers and they are good at what they do. You're welcome. And I was just like, Grayson, I know you were just told with a gun to your head saying, go ahead and make an excuse because you're politically correct, but could you help us with this big problem? When really, that just kind of ruins Walter a little bit, because like, so let's see if I get this straight. Grayson Waller is tough enough is not afraid of Walter and is willing to get his lawyers, even though Walter could kill him at a drop of a hat with his bare hands and make his chest be carved open and caved in as worse than Kofi Kingston's chest was caved in from years of chest chops. My god, I feel sorry for Kofi when he has to fight Walter down the road. But you decide to make a very, while understandably good reasoning, but I'll admit this is still kind of stupid and also really wrecks Walter, because Grayson Waller's just having the balls to just sue Walter when Walter could just walk up to him and beat the living hell out of him. But, you know, Grayson Waller is defensible. But let me just go ahead. They trademarked Gunther Stark, the name of a U-boat commander who fought in World War II for the Third Reich. That's the name that pops up on Google within 30 seconds. And let's go into that idea people were saying, like, oh, Vince didn't know about this. He doesn't go on Google. Okay, well, let me just point this out, because I heard that reasoning, and I was like, no. I'll give Vince some credit. Never in the history of Mr. McMahon would he be this stupid, this moronic, to quote that movie, that guy from Catwoman, that boss, "Your incompetence is staggering." Because it's just that impossible to imagine Vince didn't look this up. That Bruce Pritchard didn't look this up. I'm going to give Vince credit. He is insane. He is ruthless. He is probably mentally broken. And he looks like he's melting on television every time when he has to go out and talk to Austin Theory. And he's probably delusional, but he is not stupid. And then the tribalists come and defend the Gunther Stark trademark. They defend the Gunther name, saying that, oh, if you just take out the Stark and just put in Gunther, it means all this stuff that would make sense. Okay, fine, but that doesn't excuse the fact they trademarked Gunther Stark. They knew what they were doing. I guarantee you, I am certain they knew what they were doing. And then a report came out that I heard later from other sources, that when I was watching Just Alexa's podcast about this whole mess, that said that Walter voluntarily chose the name, gave the name change a go, because if he had kept the Walter name, Vince would have trademarked it. Okay, allow me to recontextualize this whole thing. That's not voluntary. That's an ultimatum threat. It's either you change your name or I'm taking your name. That's not a voluntary name change. That's an ultimatum. Vince could just let him keep the name and not trademark it. He did it with Chelsea Green. She kept the name after they tried and ultimately failed because it was like, that's her real name. I don't think that's how it works. You can't do this. This is... And I'm seeing the tribalists defend this. It just is like... I get what Vince has done for you people. I get what Vince has done. He's given us a glorious childhood. He's given us through thick and thin. He's given us great content. But why is it just that hard to imagine that he was not a good person? Why is it hard when you have all these stories mounting and interviews and documentations and all the evidence mounting that he had built this empire on a bloody foundation? That he built off of everyone else's hard work. Hulkamania, AWA, look where they're at. They're gone. Why can't anyone just admit Vince has to be held accountable? And then I was hearing on the timeline that apparently a German minister retweeted the outrage of Gunther Stark trademark from WWE, and I was like, it's one thing for an organization to say that. Now you have the government of Germany becoming aware, and they hate the Third Reich. They hate that part of their history. They have and JBL was fined for doing the Hail Hitler stuff in 2004. Remember Muhammad Hassan, an Arab American who was fighting for Muslims in America? They didn't like the UPN threatened to knock SmackDown off the air permanently. Remember the Lita scandal with her and Edge? They got knocked off Canada for that. Why is it that so they can do bad television, they can do bad presentations, oh, fine, they'll be in trouble for that, but we'll defend the trademark of Gunther Stark. And then Road Dogg was going ahead and comparing this to Finn Balor's name change, and I was like, no, Road Dogg, they fired you. Why? You don't have to defend them constantly. And Finn Balor wasn't a Third Reich name. Finn Balor in Gaelic means Demon King. That makes sense. And he didn't start off in WWE calling himself Prince Devitt and then they changed his name. He started off calling himself Finn Balor. They gave reference to Prince Devitt and they changed it to Finn Balor. But here's the difference. I think whereas in Triple H's NXT, you were at least given the option to choose a name. Like it was said, Hideo Itami. Remember Hideo Itami? Triple H was fighting hard for him to keep the name Kenta. Vince said, you can't do that. But they compromised and said, okay, fine. He can't call himself Kenta. He let him choose his name. There. But no, the ultimatum they gave Volta is change your name. Change your name. Let us change your name, or we're trademarking your name. We're trademarking Volta, something that you built over a decade, nearly 2, to build this brand of yours. We'll take it and take all the money from you. We're already taking your merch rights because have that. We'll at least give you a higher guaranteed salary, but all your creative aspirations that you made money off of, oh, we're taking all that. I don't get this. I don't get this. I don't get what they were thinking. Like, and they have referenced Google before, like Triple H referenced Google when talking about China and why she was never brought into the Hall of Fame. But when she died, then they started thinking, oh, let's now reference China, even though we said prior we couldn't do that for various reasons. But yeah. Oh, and we'll have X-Pac run around, even though he was part of that whole mess. We'll have Sean Waltman show up on WWE TV literally the next week. We'll have Sandow dress up as him and actually give a fair, convincing look, which is saying a lot. But no, Gunther Stark. Yeah, we'll trademark that. We'll realize, oh, we got screwed big time with this because we have a bunch of morons in charge. And this reminds me, I was thinking about this. The fact that when the research came out, I was thinking, oh my god. So when they were going for the cyborg idea with Paul Heyman, who I must stress is Jewish, so that doesn't help even way. The writer pitched this because they felt like they could pitch anything after the Katie Vick stuff. And Vince, when he was told this idea in the room, he was quiet. He got up and left. Because even he knew when not to toe that line. Well, it just had to wait 2 more decades for that to happen. Just wait about 2 decades and then you'll get to pitch your cyborg idea. Then you would have been fine. We are fiend. We are fiend for this. I am. And the fact that Walter didn't want them to trademark it, I get the feeling he knows the writing's on the wall. I'm just here to get a paycheck, and then when I get released, which is probably going to be soon now, I wouldn't be surprised if they released him this year, near the end of 2022, because they're that bankrupt on everything. I won't be surprised if he is gone by the end of this year. And he'll at least get to say, that wasn't my idea. It was either this or to give up Walter. And I will never give up Walter. So, yeah. The Eldritch Creature has been unveiled, and yet AEW is the villain here, and somehow in this connection. Because the moment people brought up, hey, WWE, could you stop being secretly, obviously racist? And then they did this Siri gimmick card for a Japanese schoolgirl from an anime show, and I'm like, you are just really showing your race card. But then when the Tribalists heard this, they came to the defense of Bruce Pritchard and Vince and said Rio. And I was like, wait, but Rio's character's not a schoolgirl. It's not stereotyped as far as I feel. Like, I don't see it. I could be completely wrong on that, but WWE doesn't operate like the rest of the wrestling world, where the rest of the wrestling universe is like, okay, come up with your name, we can work with you, we can pitch things together, pitch back and forth, come to an agreement, or just let them come up with their own ideas. Whereas in WWE, it's my way or the highway. Oh, I'm just kidding. It's going to be my way, and you'll be punished either way. So, yeah. Good luck, Walter. I am not going to call him Gunther, because why? Like, even people who regularly have some logistical reasoning to defend WWE on this, they even were like, even if you take away that other thing, they still doesn't make sense, because you kept the name Walter for 3 years in WWE. You gave him the longest running run as a champion in the modern era, beating Pete Dunne and beating Roman Reigns and beating Brock Lesnar, but that still doesn't work for you, Vince. Because you didn't make him. He has to be this. And if they go with the anti-American and they go with him being a sympathizer for the Third Reich, or a neo Third Reich supporter, I will cry. And this will just further prove that Vince thinks that all foreign wrestlers are evil or just really stupid. Because that's how it works. In Vince's world, the foreign people who are either hating America or they're just really stupid. Remember Asuka? She was starting out being a badass, but the moment she lost the streak, she lost the mystique she had with her. Then they started making her do idiotic things that make no sense for her character that we were given literally just 2 months prior, and falling for stuff that Asuka shouldn't really be falling for, and if she did, she just kicked their heads in. But no, she has to get beaten within seconds after she falls for it because, hey, she's foreign, therefore she's an idiot, right? And now the most over thing Asuka's doing since she's been out of action is post memes, which are funny. She's just fun. But yeah, it's so fucked. This is so fucked. Oh my god. Okay, Walter, good luck with whatever the hell this is. You're gonna really need it. And I'm pretty sure this was, and he looks like he was thinking to himself, what the hell did I sign up for? I regret every moment of this. And I wouldn't blame you. I'm like, he wasn't even in it for Survivor Series, and he got eliminated quickly because he was just like, not interested, I don't care, I don't want to be here. So, yeah. So, this was Near Reality Entertainment, the WrestleVerse. Oh, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, check out my other content in the description to stay tuned for more, and look forward to other content, and let's hope for my wrestling pills. My pills! I need my AEW pills and my other wrestling company pills to look forward to. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, check out my content in the description below. Stay tuned for more. I'll see you all next time. Peace and take care, and have a good day.